Hello, how do I avoid overdraft when linking checking account? Swing Trading Analysis of PAG. Well, to avoid overdraft, first you link your checking account. By linking the checking account to your brokerage account, there is no transaction happening just yet. You link those two, and your brokerage account might transfer few might drop um, a few cents to your checking account to verify, and you will confirm it for them to take it back. After that, you will transfer money on a regular basis from your checking account to your brokerage account. I do not do auto deposits, scheduling deposits that automatically on a specific date of part of the month it will transfer. I don't do that, and that is one way you can avoid overdraft, so that if you do not have money in their checking account, you do not do that transfer. So what I like to do is first do our budget, recording what my husband and I brought in for the month, because we tend to um, do our budget on the monthly basis. So I get paid one time a month. My husband get paid by every 2 weeks, but we tend to, save his pay every 2 weeks so that we can spend it the following month. So when I get paid at the end of the month, we get we for instance, our income from December is recorded in January, because I got paid at the end of December. So I cannot spend that in December, but I will spend that in January. So therefore, my husband's income in December, we record that in January, because that's something we are going to spend in January. So I like to, even before my husband and I sit down and record our actuals, I like to work on our budget by recording our take-home pay that we are going to use during that month, have our estimated budget for the month. That is the budget. Now the actual just yet, the budget for the month, and later here now you can sit down and do the budget. But next time I check our checking account, bills that he pays, because he pays those bills, utility bills, the one that he pays, I will replace the budget with actual, the estimated budget with the actual cost. But for the time being, I will have my budget there. So it gives me how much I know that from our income we need to keep in the checking for those expenses. And then we know that for our irregular expenses, we save money for it. So to pay for those irregular expenses, we will move money from the checking account to, to cover that expense. So therefore, a portion of our income is going to go in the checking account as well. And for instance, for 2026, I decided that, well, based on by looking at our basic monthly expenses and our estimated income, I know that if I divide our estimated income by 4, 1/4 of it will be enough for our basic monthly expenses. So the second fourth of it can be put in the checking account, in the saving account for irregular expenses that we we pay for throughout the year, but not on a monthly basis. Therefore, that we need to save for. Those are things we estimated on an annual basis and then divided by 12. Annual basis and then divided by 12. Even though divided by 12 is a little bit more than what I'm allocating, I think that will work because there are some expenses there that, you know, I know it's going to fluctuate. And that I didn't really go through it to see what I need to increase, what I need to decrease. I just copy it from last year. So then I have some blank template here that I will need to take out of there as well. So you can see that it changed that number there, but anyway, it's now what we are here for. So, and then I have 50% left, and that 50% I estimated to send it to our brokerage account. So I did that calculation, and after I work on January, I determine how much I want to send to our brokerage account. After doing that is when I went to the brokerage account and did the transfer. So I don't say automatic deposit for money to come out of our checking account automatically at a specific period of the month, which is a good way to do that so that you can have you can be consistent with it. But I like to be in charge of my things. I'm a control type person. What is my responsibility? I like to rise to that level of that responsibility and be in charge of things. So yes, I may not do it on a regular basis, but then it leaves room for improvement for me to try to do it consistently. That is just the way I do things. But again, I have time to do it. So I tend to see how much I can afford to invest, and then I will go to our brokerage account and do the transfer. That is how I avoid overdraft, after linking our checking account to our brokerage account. I first do our budget, and there are some months, last year, there are multiple months that we didn't invest money in our brokerage account to swing trade because we needed to save money to replace our roof. So we have been living in here for years, and I know from day one that not knowing when the roof was put on the house, it will be replaced at some point, and my husband wanted to replace it maybe 2 years ago, but I told him that we can keep it, and I know that we are going to save money for it. So we save money for it to be able to replace it. So for that reason, we didn't really did much of transfer invest last year. So, and there are some months that will make estimated tax deposits due to swing trading, and it comes out of our saving account, and that is something that sometimes instead of investing, I would just prefer we keep the money in the checking account so that we can pay our estimated taxes to IRS and the state, because we do our swing trading in a brokerage account, a taxable brokerage account. So, and once you transfer to your brokerage account, for instance, I did this transfer on the 2nd. It was during the weekend, and they told me that the transfer date will be on the 5th, which is Monday. Today is January 8th, 2026. So they say the transfer date is January 5, 2026, which was Monday. Yesterday, January 7, 2026, I checked it, It was still showing on hold. It was now showing on the posted transaction session. It was still showing pending, like on hold for that amount. And this morning, for this video purposes, I check it again, and guess what? Is posted already. So what I did is from there, so you can see that by doing that transfer on the 2nd of January, it took all the way to the end of the day of January 7 for that to be posted. So they say transfer date is January 5. So that means it took 5, 6, 7. Let's just say 3 days, 3 business days for the transfer to go through. Does not mean knowing that you will try to do the transfer hoping the money will reach the account before they do the transfer. I just prefer to make sure the money is there before I do the transfer. Or I can transfer to saving to checking, when I do this transfer, so like within the bank account, if the money is in the saving, I can move it to checking the same day I'm doing that transfer. But other than that, I prefer to have the money in my bank account, our bank account, before I do that transfer. So earlier this morning, I transfer from this account to our brokerage account, because this account is more like a checking account with the brokerage firm. I tend to transfer to my checking account at the brokerage firm, and then from there I can transfer to our brokerage account where we are doing the swing trading. And even though the market is now open, it's like I did the transfer a little bit before 6 a.m. Now it's 6:05 a.m. Central Time. But as soon as I'm done with the transfer and I went back to our brokerage account, it was showing the cash level rise to the amount that I transferred to it. So it's just, so when you are transferring from your brokerage account, within your brokerage account, maybe from checking to your trading account, that transfer can be automatic. But when you are transferring from your bank checking account to your brokerage account, it takes days. I would say estimate about a week. But make sure the money is there before you initiate that transfer. That is how you will avoid overdraft. I don't like to know what kind of fee you are going to pay when you overdraft your account and all those. I just prefer not to deal with that. So now that we are done with that question, let's see the stocks we like to analyze today is PAG. I put a note here that I don't really want these stocks in my watch list, but for the time being for this year is there. So you'll see that's how when you have a watch list of stocks, as you are analyzing those stocks, there are some stocks that you may not really like because you feel like their chart does not really go well with your strategy. You can flag them so that at the end of the year you can take them out. You might change your mind as well over time during the year, but you take those notes. So we are going to use think or swim platform maximum daily chart, PAG. It touched base with this support line in 2025, went up, and now is pulling back to it. It's not a buy today. I have not purchased it yet. I will try to buy to actually confirm it if I don't really like to swing trade it or not. But for the time being, it is not a buy today. And why is that? Where is it coming from? From the valley or from the peak of the mountain? It's coming from the peak of the mountain on its way to the valley, but it has not reached it yet. So for that reason, it is not a buy just yet. So we have this support line that we like to buy at, And the date is on the x-axis from the past to the present, and we have the price on the y-axis from $0 up. And as you can see, yesterday the market closed on red. The price at the end of the day was lower than the price in the morning when the markets open. So, but it's still going down, and it has not touched base with that value line just yet that we selected to be where we want to buy it at. If we go to maximum monthly chart, we can see the line more. And the reason why I'm not a big fan of it is the way this line is drawn. It is just no. I don't really like the source of it, to be. If it's like it came from somewhere here, it will make a lot more sense to me. And you can see it just does not have a good source. You can go from there, but then 2020 went a little bit below it. Okay, so that will make sense as well. So when it reach this line, I like to buy and see from there. But that is just how you are going to be adjusting those value lines as you keep analyzing things. You will notice that originally I drew it from here, and I was now really happy with the origin for it. And this one will make a lot more sense, but the fact that it's not following this line anymore. So it's not the value line, it was a line that it climbed up. So yeah, that is just how you do your chart analysis. When you are now using indicator or you are just using support line, you'll keep adjusting those lines as you keep analyzing the chart, because we are using daily chart. Every single bar added to the chart is a daily time frame, is a puzzle added, a puzzle piece added to the existing puzzle, helping you describing, understanding, the chart, where it's going, and so forth. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for all your comments. We thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in sub.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Just start small and grow your account from there. The way we analyze PAG is the way you do your swing trading chart analysis without indicator and using long option and swing trading strategy. If you are interested in, our strategy and would like to practice analyzing chart to see if any is well positioned for you to buy during the week, and receive feedback on how you are doing your analysis, will you please check our online store, liberdownload.com, for our small group online workshop and reserve a spot if you are interested. The link is in the description of this video as well. And for more videos in this series, will you please check the playlist in the description of this video, as well as other playlists related to swing trading. Thank you for your time.